Hey guys, welcome to a brand new series of videos called Through the Eyes. These series of videos are an aid to help you understand the fundamental concepts of horseshoeing. I'm going to bring in a worldwide clinician, a previous teacher at one of the UK colleges. He's received his PhD. He's a fellow of the worshipful company of farriers, and I think he's very well qualified to run this course for you guys. So I'm going to introduce him. His name is Mark Caldwell, and he's going to run over the topics that we're going to cover in these sessions. So I'm going to pass you over to him now.
Hi guys. First thing I probably ought to say is, what's the purpose of this? What's the aim of these videos? Well, our aim really is to try and provide you with sufficient enough information for you to be able to evaluate limb and hoof conformation, to provide you with enough information on the basic to provide you with enough information on the fundamental principles of horseshoeing and how they relate to individual conformation and movement. It's hoped that at the end of these sessions we will have made some practical sense out of some of these fundamental concepts to help you evaluate your own work and improve your own level of understanding of what's actually happening and what's actually happening to these feet in relationship to the limb, how some of the more common pathologies and injuries occur, and more importantly, how you can ameliorate and or prevent some of those conditions happening. That amelioration can only come through a solid understanding of the fundamental principles of weight bearing and movement. So, what are these sessions going to cover? Well, over the course of these videos, we're going to look at a number of sessions. The first thing that we're going to talk about is what's normal. Everybody kind of refers back to an ideal model and assumes that that's normal for every single horse. We're going to discuss variations in normal, and then we're going to look at some guidelines for evaluating the limb both statically and dynamically, because foot balance and shoeing is not just about the static proportions of the foot, but more how it interacts with the limb and the surface that it's on. We're going to look at some external influences on the foot that are beyond our control as farriers, but yet we have to manage. And then as we go through that, one of the important things to be able to discuss is how and why feet distort in the way that they do. And in doing that, we'll need to have a little bit of an understanding of the properties, the mechanical properties of horn and the way it breaks down, and the dynamics of the stance phase, what's happening to that foot as inertia passes the body over it, and where the stress and the strain is at what proportion of the stance phase. We'll look through a live horse assessment for evaluation for shoeing purposes. Again, how to look for conformation, how to read conformation, how to relate that to the conformation and proportions of the foot. We'll discuss reading the foot and reading the distortions within it in relationship to what's normal, and we'll do that by using a foot mapping protocol, which you'll have seen on the previous video, and discussing the common ideal proportions that we're trying to achieve to gain the maximum biomechanical efficiency of the interaction of that foot with that limb and the rest of the horse. We're going to go through the parts of information that you need to design and build a proper, correct shoeing and trimming plan for that individual limb, okay, in relationship to the rest of the horse. And within that, we'll discuss shoe selection, including type of shoe, the section of shoe, and why we need a particular section under certain circumstances. We will discuss different shoeing styles in relationship to the shoeing cycle, because obviously as farriers we have to shoe these horses for specific jobs that they're engaged in doing, and that sometimes necessitates a contradictory shoe to perform the task to what's required mechanically. That usually means a change in the shoeing cycle. The example that we're going to show in this first set of videos is a general purpose riding horse. So it's just a leisure horse on a 5 to 6 week cycle. Okay, and then what we're going to do is go through an extensive post-shoeing evaluation to see whether or not we've met the aims of our shoeing plan in relationship to what's normal, what guidelines we set, have we managed the external influences, minimized the effects of dysfunctional mechanical properties, does it match our original live horse observation, okay, to complete our shoeing plan, and have we improved the conformation of the foot and mitigated any unintended consequences of our action. I hope that by the end of these series of videos, that provides you with sufficient enough information to be able to go back and evaluate your own work and see if you can find areas where you can improve it for the health of the horse and for your own efficiency and business purposes. I hope you enjoy the videos, and we'll push straight on to session 1.